Hi guys, it's Sue from Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for joining me today. Before I forget, I just want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Today I'm going to be going through this pretty red book and adding in some pockets and flips and such. This is another embossed one with some flowers and pretty pattern on it, and it says Allison's Select Library. So it'd be really cool if somebody named Allison got this journal. And then the title of the book was King Solomon's Mines. Spine is really pretty here and it's in pretty good shape. So I'm not sure if I would cover that up or not. I'm doing this just a little different today. I kind of have stuff already in place so that this goes a little quicker. My husband told me that my videos are too long, and I agree. They're just too long. Nobody ever watches the whole thing, so I'm going to try to keep it shorter today. All right. So here I have already just added some of this pretty paper ruffle, and on this side there's a little pocket. This is one of the original pages from the book. And on this page here, I'm just going to add a flip. After I got this one done, I kind of realized the first signature didn't have a lot of stuff in it, like interesting stuff. So I'm actually going to create a flip here. This is just some decorative paper that I think came from Hobby Lobby. Sort of, or no, you know what? It came from Joann's. I'm sorry. Isn't that sad? You can't just run to Joann's and get that. And then when you flip this over, this opens up. And that's just plain on the back, but it's nice paper. It has a nice texture to it, and it's kind of cream colored. It's not stark white. So you can do some writing there. This is just a torn piece from a ledger, and I liked that it had the red pencil lines on it. And I'm just going to glue this up in the corner, and it's just going to be a little tuck spot. Real simple. I could come back later and put, you know, a flower on it or something if I feel like I want to. And here I have a little flap at the bottom. And again, we have all of these sort of things because when I put my books together, I can't decide where I want to cut the paper. So I just don't. And then it forces me to make the decision later on. This one I thought we would just have this go in here like this. And then it can be like a little bottom tuck if you put a little paper clip on there, like a little pocket almost. And then this will open up and you can write on it too. So that's all that is. And then that whole thing can pull right out for lots of writing that doesn't show unless you want it to. Okay. This one's already just glued like a little side tuck, real simple. And this one I'm going to make into a pocket, but I'm going to add a strip of vellum in there just so that there's a little bit of sheerness to it. If we put our tag in the pocket, you'll be able to see it in that little vellum area. Another pocket. Okay, here I'm just going to make this into a nice little tuck by adding this label on there. And here we're just going to add a little bit of paper doily along the edge because it's so pretty. Okay, here I've made I've already pre-made an envelope, just like the one I showed you in the last video. It's already made, and I'm just going to glue it right on this little flap here. See this flap? Okay. So I'm going to glue it all the way to the edge of the page and only along the side so that when we open it up again, we have a little tuck spot in there. So now we have an envelope here. We can put something inside. Then we can flip this open and we have a tuck spot here. We can tuck something in there. Okay. On this little sort of narrow page, I'm also going to make a side tuck, and it's going to wrap around to the other side. So what I've done is I've already cut my paper and folded it. And on this side, it's not going to be a pocket, and I really don't want to cover up very much of that picture. So this is just going to be glued down along the edge here. And it will just be like an extension of the page on this side. So now that has extended this page and made it wider. And then if we flip it back over, I'm just going to glue these two sides down, and then we'll have a tuck there. Easy peasy. Here I'm just going to add this vellum strip so that you can, if you want to write on this white page, you will see it underneath that vellum. And I just need to find something to attach it at the top. It's a little wrinkly, but it'll smooth out. Okay, here you've already seen me do this. I'm going to stitch in a couple of pages here. All right, and there it is. That's just a little patchwork pocket that I already made. Side tuck here that I just already glued closed. Here this one folded down from the top. I just tore it at an angle, and then I just glued those little polka dots on there just for fun, just for a little bit of interest when you tuck something in there. Those little polka dots will be layered over the top. All right, here I have another one of these nice postcards, and that's going to get glued right here. And I just wanted, this one's blank on the back, but this is so pretty, I didn't want to cover that up. So I'm just going to glue it here, but I think I'm even going to take a little bit off of this or fold it so that I'm only covering up a tiny bit. I only want to cover up a tiny bit of that postcard. You can write on this side if you want to. Okay. Just that pretty ledger. This one I've already done. I just put this nice fold out piece here. Here I had a little flat flip here. I just split that in two, cut that apart, and then I just added a tag to each side. So you can write on that side. And you can tie a bow on there or something, whatever you like. Okay, here I'm going to create another window pocket. And it's just slightly different in construction because the window is not going to go all the way through to both sides. I had this pretty paper that I punched out the butterfly, and that's going to be the window, okay? And then this paper is going to go on the other side, and I just thought that was pretty. I didn't really want to punch a hole in it, so it's not going to go all the way through. Now, because this is a narrow pocket, I'm going to use gusset on this side and on the bottom so we have as much of the width of the pocket available as possible. So I'll show you that. But first I'm just going to go ahead and glue my acetate onto the back of my opening here. Oh, and I saved the little punch out because we'll put that on the page. It's just a long strip of paper folded in half. Okay. Just going to cut it at an angle a little bit here. And then I'm going to glue that right on the back of this, right along the edge. And about to here. And then I'm just also going to put one along the bottom here. Kind of the same thing here. That one will go right here. Glue that closed like that. We're going to glue it to the backing. Okay, so we will, same thing, we're going to go right along this and here, and then right along the edge of this here. Put those together. Then that will get glued right onto here. Oh, and I should have left a tiny space there to slip that over the slip it over the stub there, like that. Just get our glue in here. And and along this side. Looks straight. That's good. Okay. There it is. Very nice. Let's try something in there. So we'll slip our ruler down in there, and you can see that we'll see it through the butterfly there. Okay, and then we're just going to take this little butterfly, and I think I'm going to glue it right there. I think that will look cool. Like it escaped from here and flew away, right? Or should I put it over here? Maybe I like that better. We'll put it over here. Now I'm just going to take my little micron pen and make antennae for it, because otherwise I think it looks weird. Just the smallest, lightest. This is the tiniest little pen. It's a 0.003. Awesome for antennae. Just barely show there. Okay, good. All right. So that will pull out like that. And you can open it all out like that. Okay. Now there's just another flip there that I'm going to leave. This one is another little side tuck. I'm just going to add this to give it a little bit more coverage so that whatever you put in there will stay a little bit better. All right. And this one, I'm going to make this pretty pocket. This is some beautiful paper that I got from Hollanders. If you don't know Hollanders, it is a bookmaking supply store. It used to be a brick and mortar store in Ann Arbor. Now it's just online. But I thought this was a really economical way of getting a lot of really beautiful Florentine papers. So that's at hollanders.com if you're interested. Just a little plug for them. So anyway, this is a pretty piece of paper from that book. And all I'm going to do is glue it down as a pocket. But because it's got the pretty poppy on there, I took my ruler and I drew a line across there. I'm going to cut that pocket off, but then I'm going to cut out the top of that flower so it's coming off of the pocket. So I'll show you what I mean here. Actually, I thought I would cut a little bit of this guy, this little pod here too, out. And then I'm just cutting this side of my pencil line so that I don't see it. And I'm going to cut right around this poppy. And then when I get to the line, I will stop and cut it the rest of the way across straight. So it makes that kind of cool little pocket with a little flower sticking out at the top. I just think that's something interesting and cute. Isn't that pretty? I think that's pretty. All right, now here I'm going to do the same thing you saw in the last video with the little flags. So I've kind of gathered some scraps of paper here and cut a few of them, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, isn't that cute and festive? With all the pretty little red flags. Tuck right up underneath there like that. All right. Oh, you know what? I just need to glue these little corners down here. There we have that. I like that. And then this is one more little stub, and all I'm going to do is add in a page from a bird book. Just the whole thing, just like that. It's a nice, easy way to add in an extra couple of pages. And that'll just glue right in there like that. Okay. That brings us to the end. That brings us to the end of this pretty book. So thanks for joining me today. And again, happy Mother's Day. I'll be back next time with another one of these books. See you then. Bye.